Mm. It says you're alive. Ha! I was too busy drinking my little detox juice, y'all. I don't know where you viewing from, what time it is on your end, but on this end, it is 9:39 a.m. Saturday morning, June 10th. And I've already had some water, but I need this right here. I'm only drinking 8 ounces. The other half I didn't have any yesterday. It was Thursday, and I don't even try to. I wasn't supposed to miss a day, so I'll make sure to do two today, and then I have one more tomorrow, one more 8 ounce tomorrow. But I'm getting some more, 6 more. I got three the first time. Now I'm getting six because I'm gonna make it my business to do one in the morning, one in the evening. Mm. And no buy these from the store. I get them from my girlfriend, her name Tasha, but her TikTok. One second. Love Define Organics LLC. She makes sea moss, detox juice, regular juice, sour sop, sorrel, you name it. My baby be making all the stuff. So don't ask no questions. Don't tell me I didn't tell y'all. This detox juice. I'm gonna stop my video in a minute, but let me drink my juice. So sorry. And I gotta drink it like this because it's cold. And my teeth just, well, it ain't even my teeth. I've never been ice cold beverage drinker. Like I gotta really be in a mood. Like my mouth gotta be real, real, real dry. But I'm very hydrated, so I prefer room temperature. You don't see that little leaf. You see it? Mhm. That was good. It tastes like, if you want to know what it tastes like, it tastes like an Arnold Palmer. I made sure to have another bottle of water. Flush it all down. I really don't like Deer Park water, but that's what I can afford. My favorite water is Fuji. My head itch. I need my head done. Anyway, hey y'all. Oof, my hair is a mess. Just, just leave it like this so it could look like something. Oh, I can't wait to get this done. Anyway, hi y'all. Happy Saturday. This is Kia. Thank you for cruising with Key. Excuse me. This has been a week for me. Y'all know I don't have no issue with being honest about nothing. This has been an extremely trying week for me. So I didn't have the mental capacity to come on here and do a video. Um, but I'm here this morning because tomorrow will be Sunday, which means a whole new week starts. I hope y'all know that the week is it's like from Saturday. I mean, Sunday through Saturday. I don't know why people think that the first day of the week starts on Monday. No, that's when you go to work. That's the first business day. But the first day of the week is Sunday. I told you something over about. People like, that's the end of the weekend. Oh, who told you that? End of the weekend for me is Saturday. Any rate, we already talked about my mom. We're on this journey. Um, with me dealing with childhood trauma, starting from the root, and we already talked about my mother. Um, Today, will we talk about my father? Now, it will not be two segments because I don't know him like that. I did not know him like that. Unfortunately, just like her, he has gone on to glory. Passed away January 2007. So, yeah. I told you all that I was a contestant of MAFES and we had to do a questionnaire. And I told you about my questions and answers for my mom, but of course, I didn't tell you about my dad because it wasn't time. Now, before I get into that, I will let you know. Um, oh, excuse me, I need to stretch. I will let you know that I've only saw my father twice. Now I've saw my mother countless of times. I told you that. But my father literally only twice. Um, Literally at my mother's funeral and at his funeral. He know I was dead up probably. I don't know. But physically having an interaction with each other one time. That was June 4th, 2001 at my mother's funeral. Um, and last Saturday, y'all saw my sister and nephew, and she should show y'all the picture. And so you saw the tall, handsome black guy. Yep, that was him. And the dude that was kneeling down was my brother. But at any rate, on the questionnaire for MACE, actually it says question 138. I swear it was over 200 and some questions. It took me about a week to complete that sucker. But question 138. What are the top 5 adjectives you would use to describe your father or father figure? Netta, I've never had a father figure. Never. Um, I've had a lot of mother figures. Y'all know that. I've told you all that I have a tendency to call somebody ma. I love saying ma. Um, but I've never, for some reason, had the desire to call someone dad. Mm-mm. Um, I don't even know why. I realized even saying it out loud that even when I was younger, when I was growing up, and I was always asking my mom, it never was, "Where's my mom and dad?" It was always mom, and I wonder why. But I guess that's how some children are. It's always, there's a connection with their mother. Mm. But I also probably think that it's because I was, on and off with family who had a relationship, with my mother. It wasn't like my mother was a secret. They just did not know where she was. But my father, of course, clearly was a secret. Nobody knew who he was. So my mother told me, and she told me the story and everything. So my my 5 adjectives. Number 1 was absent. Number 2 was handsome. Number 3 was charming. Number 4 was addict. Number 5 was stubborn. Of course, y'all know I'm going to say absent because I had an absent father. He was not there. I said handsome because my father was a very handsome man. He really was. Tall chocolate, dark and handsome. I'm telling you, that's crazy. It's like growing up, I've always liked chart. That's my preference. You have yours, I have mine. Get. I've always just felt like chocolate, dark skinned men was just the finest on the earth. Um, yeah, I have a chocolate husband. Um, yeah, I like chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, special chocolate. I like believe it or not, white chocolate is my favorite, but it's still chocolate. Mm. Yeah, but at any rate, it's crazy that I love chocolate men, and then I met my father, and I was like, oh, okay. He's a little handsome fella. If I grew up with him, I would have been like, excuse me, that's my father. Leave him alone. No, get out his face. No, I'm gonna try to hook y'all up. I'm trying to hook my mother and him back up. Because they would have made up. Them two together, looking at them together, like knowing what she looked like, knowing what he looked like. I see why they was dealing with each other. They were a very attractive couple. Uh-huh. It's like, nah. um, but yeah, he was handsome. I put charming. I say charming because when I met him, y'all not gonna believe this, but I met my father literally at my church. The church that I had my mother's funeral and my brother's funeral is the church that I still attend to this day. Um, believe it or not, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes be like, dang. I swear sometimes I black out if I'm in church sometimes, and I haven't been in Lord knows how long, but there's times I've blacked out just looking at the front, remembering caskets, remembering the service and stuff. Yeah, but I met him literally outside before we went in. He was with my older two sisters. Y'all already saw one last Saturday, and he raised them in Pennsylvania. But while he's with them, and uh, I see them and I give them hugs and love, of course. Um, he literally just started smiling. And I will never forget his words. When he hugged me, he said, your mother was right. Your mother was right. We need to talk. Today ain't the day, bruh. How you gonna tell me the day that we tell her goodbye for good that she was right? I knew she was right. Half the time I would ask, well, I did ask a few times, but her story never changed. And for me, if I can ask you randomly the same question and your story never changed, you ain't telling no lie. You did, especially if you get her intoxicated. If she's intoxicated and you asking questions, oh, you're gonna find out more stuff than you want to know, child. Excuse me. Told you I've had a tough week. Normally, I'm not even up this time of morning on no Saturday, but my sleep has just been jacked up. But yeah, he was a charming man. He instantly, had affection. He instantly just smiled. He instantly wanted to have a conversation. Like I said, this was June 4th, 2001. I turned 21 July 5th, 2001. My birthday really is coming up. 2001. And he was the first person to call. I swear to y'all, he was the first person that called me that morning. Um, he also sent me a card. I want to say it was $21 in there, and he actually wrote me a letter. In the letter he was talking about, if you want to go to Maury, we can, and all this other stuff. And at this point, I'm just like, we ain't gotta do all that. You confirmed it. It is what it is. You want to get blood work, we can, but we literally never talked about it after that. Um, because he was such a smooth operator. I didn't care. I was just so busy just chopping it up, when we could. Addict. He was an addict. Let my mother tell it. They was doing things together. Up until the point where he ended up getting locked up. And then while he was locked up, she found out she was pregnant. And supposedly she was messing with one of his best friends while he was locked up. So when he came home and she said, you have another little girl, he was like, that's not mine. So he took my older two sisters and left this area and went to Pennsylvania, never returned back. He literally did come to her funeral though. So I appreciate him sending the respects. But yeah, he was an addict. And then I put stubborn. I say stubborn because you had to be stubborn. Like, if this lady is telling you this, then just be like, I don't believe you. But you don't just, I don't believe you, and you just up and leave the area and then take her daughters. I mean, I'm sure that she wasn't a living the lifestyle because she didn't have me either, but still, like, you were stubborn enough not to at least find out before. I wish you would no just imagine if he did, if he found out before he left Pennsylvania, like, well, let me do some blood work. Let me see, because you ain't about to have, you know what I'm saying? I wonder how different would my life been had I was raised by my father. Um, I don't know this man's favorite color. I don't know his favorite genre of music. I do know that he used to like Heinekens because he would tell me that he's picking up a pack of Heinekens before he go in the house after work. That was his thing. I actually like Heinekens too. I like Coronas. I like Stellas, Yinglings. Yeah, I like beer. And but it amazes me all of these things that I have in common with my parents who did not raise me. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that's all I really have. How has that affected me? If I'm going to be honest, it has affected me. I think it more affected me in my relationships than anything because for me, I didn't have no father. I didn't have no man that was raising me. I had no man that I looked up to. The first man that I really knew was Daddy George, um, who was married to my cousin that I live with now. He was dope. He was dope. Daddy George was dope. But he wasn't my dad, and Daddy George had a lifestyle, so he wasn't in the house all the time. Oh, but when he was in the house, he didn't play no games. And that's where I got my love for Dallas Cowboys because he was a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. So I grew up loving the Cowboys, and I actually still root for them with Daddy George in the back of my memory. He loved them. But that's about it. That's about it. But as far as like relationships, I always felt like I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to deal with you. I don't know really nothing about y'all men anyway, so I'm okay by myself. I did that for a very long time. I did that for a very long time. And I wish that I didn't because I feel like had I did have a father, he would have hopefully taught me um how to be acceptable to a good man, how to recognize a good man, how to recognize um, a whole bunch of different things, how a woman is supposed to be treated. My brother, rest in peace, Jay, he actually taught me a lot. When we would hang out, he would like pull out my chair and he'll be like, if a man don't pull out your chair, don't go on a date with him again. If a man don't open up your door, don't go out on a date with him. He is supposed to, you're not supposed to touch doors, you're not supposed to touch chairs. If you got on a coat or a jacket, he's supposed to help you take it off. Like, don't even introduce me to a back to a guy if he's not serious. If y'all not in a relationship, I don't even want to meet him. Um, and I took that and ran with it. Like if I wasn't in a committed relationship, you didn't count. You didn't count. We having fun, then but to be committed to me means a lot. It means you ain't talking to nobody else. I'm not talking to nobody else. Um, Everything we do outside of each other and family, we was doing it together. Like yeah, commitment and partnership always mattered to me. That's why I never really played in relationships. Um, And I can say that that's because of the lack of having a father figure. Having a father figure teaches women a lot when it comes to relationships with men. And mine been trial and error outside of what my brother taught me. It's been trial and error. And I really hated that for myself. I still sometimes hate that for myself because I be so confused about certain things. But I do appreciate actually having a father-in-law. Um, I can talk about him all day. Ain't that crazy? I can talk about him all day long. Um, it makes me emotional thinking about him because I feel like I have a father. Um, I feel like I'm a daughter to a father. Um, he's just an amazing dad. I call him Pops, like everybody else. Um, he calls me, he checks on me, he texts me, he sees me, he hears me, he knows me very well. He calls me out, um, he prays me, um, he teaches me so much. He tells me all kinds of stories. Um, I could call him for anything, I could call him about anything. Um, he's affectionate, every time I see him, we always giving each other a hug. Um, he's very funny. We both make each other laugh. We can talk for hours. I think the longest we've talked for over like 2, 3 hours on the phone, just sharing stories and going back and forth about childhood and stuff like that. I think the closer I get to my father-in-law, the more I realize what a real man is. And my father did not do that for me. He never showed me what a real man is. Um, which is another reason why I never really cared about relationships with men. I never cared to have a relationship with a man. No, I've never been with a woman. That's not happy Pride Month, but that's not what I'm saying. Okay. What I'm saying is I was never the relationship type. I don't know what a real man is. I don't believe nothing that come out your mouth. I don't trust you. Half of the time I don't like y'all because I think y'all just trifling. Um, but I do know there's some good men out here, some amazing men out here. And my father-in-law has greatly taught me that. Um, what a real man is, what a real man does, what you should expect, what you shouldn't expect, um, how you supposed to be treated, what real partnership is, and things of that nature. I love him with everything that I got. I would do anything for my father-in-law. I really truly love him. Um, on Father's Day, I make sure that he knows how I feel. Well, I make sure he knows how I feel all the time. And that's one thing that I love about our relationship. He can randomly text me, I can randomly text him, and it's always something along the lines that you're being thought of, or I'm proud of you, baby girl. I'm your biggest fan. Keep doing your YouTube. You have no idea how many people you're touching. I'm always sharing it. He's my number one fan and supporter. Like, why wouldn't you want that from your father? I wish that, sometimes I really do wish that my father was alive so that, you know, he can see, his daughter. Sometimes I wish my mother was alive so she can see her daughter. But I thank God that he allowed me to marry into the kind of father-in-law that I have. So as tough as I thought that talking about the absentee of my father was going to be, I realized that What I didn't have then, I have now, and it's never too late. And I thank God for that. Now, if he was not here, if I was still single, um, of course, I would not have a father-in-law, father figure, none of the above. But um, I know that I had got out of myself at some point. Um, I was content, but I wasn't happy. A lot of people don't understand that content and happy go hand in hand. They are two total different definitions. Content means that you are stable, you settle. Happy means that you have in your settledness and your contentment. And I was having a lot of fun. But I wasn't happy. I didn't have a partner. I didn't have a companion. And I realized as I was getting older that that's something that I truly wanted so that I can have children and be my own mother and have a father for my children. That meant a lot to me. Family always meant a lot to me because I did not grow up with one. Um, in the homes that I was in that had a family, it wasn't mine. And they made sure that you knew that this not yours. This is not your family. Don't call me mom. Don't call him dad. My name is Miss. His name is Mister. Yeah, that was that. So the only person in life I ever called dad was probably Daddy George. It was definitely Daddy George because that's what we call Daddy George. And then of course Pops, my father-in-law. Yeah. Like I said, I don't have much to give about my father because he wasn't here. Um, but I wish that he was. It is Father's Day next Sunday. So of course I'm gonna be with my father-in-law. And that's that. That's that. Because I can see how talking about fathers can transfer into talking about relationships. That's a whole nother topic. Okay. We're not about to, we're gonna back up out of that. We're gonna stay right here. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I hope you have an amazing day today. I hope next week is dope. I hope it's better than what this week was. I'm saying it out loud. I'm putting it in the atmosphere for not just you, but for me too. For me too. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. Thank you for cruising with Key. Um, Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Post all over. I don't care. No, I am not on Instagram. I am not on Facebook. I am on TikTok. I am. I think my name on TikTok is KeiSpec22. That's KeiSpec 22. Yeah, follow me. That's all I'm on. I'm on Twitter too. I think it's Key Special K. KEI Special K. K. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Bye.